Welcome to Chat and Chew with G and Key. Hope you guys are having a great day today. So we actually are back to talk about the subject that we left off on last week. And it is, why do you think that hold on just a second. Why do you think 3 million Black women not married or dating? So that's what we're talking about today. So we want you guys to interact with us so that we can have a great conversation. Chat and Chew with G and Key. Welcome to Chat and Chew with G and Key. I'm G Key. And we say welcome.
Hey guys, make sure you're going out there and liking our page and comment. And Chew page, give us some comments. Let us know what you want to talk about. If you're on, let us know where you're tuning in from. We love to know where you guys are spending your Sundays listening to Chat and Chew with Key and G.
Absolutely. So a YouTube video that was posted maybe some years back, and the conversation started with, why are 3.6 million women married or not dating? So that's what we want to talk about today. So with that being said, Key, why do you think that so many Black women are single? Well, we shouldn't say single. We should say married or dating. So I don't know if married and dating are going together, but we just want to say you're not married and you're not dating. So we don't want to intertwine the two. Hi, Antonio. You're from Grovetown, Georgia. Welcome,
Georgia. So you're saying why they're not married, dating? I guess you just confused me a minute. We don't want to say.
No. We're not talking about. The subject is, why do you think 3 to 6 million Black women are not married or dating?
Okay,
right. Okay, so that's the topic. So go. Hey, Houston, Texas. Welcome.
H-Town. Okay. You said, well, I would think, well, I know last time in part 1 you were speaking or mentioning that you were saying, like the article that YouTube was speaking about, that was incarceration. It was women taking their careers or wanting to take their careers by the horn, opposed to trying to do the dating and getting married situation. I think now, girl, we're in 2019, because like you said, that article or that YouTube special that you saw was almost 9 years ago?
Yeah, it was 9 years ago.
So I think it's fast forward to, I think sometimes it's immature men, or we just tired of playing the games with them. You know, I think some people don't want to make, I can think, like you used to say back when we had the topic about dating someone and not wanting to be married, how long doing that at 19, trying to be in a relationship. Like I mentioned in part 1, that sometimes maybe I didn't put the expectation out there and it didn't work out, and it's just not like, why are we not dating? Are we not finding the right guy? I just think, like I mentioned, it is so different. It is so many different scenarios in this day and time. I really do.
Monica's tuning in from Arkansas, and what I said, if you guys joining us for the first time, last week I talked about that sometimes as women our standards are too high. And what I mean by that is, maybe we want someone that is making, let's just say, $150,000. So the woman is like, oh, well, I'm making $20,000, so I want a man making $150,000. And let's be honest, women, where are you going to meet these men? Because most of the time, when you meet people, that's your circle. Gwendolyn said she's a widow. Sorry about that. I pray back out there. Zebra Hall is from Columbus, Ohio. So she's saying that it's hard to get back out there because she's widowed. And I'm sure your standards are super high because your husband, I'm just going to say, was an awesome man. So you're comparing everyone that you're meeting to your husband, right? So that's kind of hard. But LaShonda said, I think a lot of us have a false sense of reality overlooking good men because they don't meet our unrealistic standards. That's what I'm saying, Shonda.
Exactly,
That's
Shonda.
what I'm saying. And so when we say that, Shonda, what do you mean by unrealistic standards? For me, unrealistic standards are when you can't do for yourself what you're expecting someone else to do. When your standards are so out there, and you want to come in and be like Captain Saver. You know, this day and time, everyone has to bring something to the table. And I'm a woman, so I can speak to this. I just think some women need to get off their high horses and say, you know what? I might need to date the janitor. I might need to date this person over here. I might need to date that type of person, because you're not giving the person a chance based on the line of work he does. You know, I'm not saying don't give it somebody that's not working, or maybe he's in between jobs. Maybe something's going on at the moment where he has lost his job or he's in between jobs. But if he's in between years, I say go move on, you know, because he has potential. He has potential to do what?
What about an entrepreneur?
What are you doing to better yourself? Okay, so
he needs to have a full-time and hustle on the side as an entrepreneur? Or can I just be like, no, I am gonna work steadily on my company that I want to do. I'm not working. So do we give up on him, or do we like
some women chime in, because I don't want to be this person that's like, I'm bashing women, because I'm not. I just think that Tracy said he better be in between jobs after we did. I like that, Tracy.
But then to echo to what Nina's saying to both of you guys, so he's in between jobs. Are you gonna date him, or are you gonna wait till he gets that job first? I mean, so what are we doing if he's in between jobs? Do we wait, or do we give him a time frame since he's in between, or do we just say, you call me when you get a job, or I'm gonna give you 6 months to get this job, and then what do you call unrealistic in your circle of friends? I'm sure you guys get together like we all do, have those conversations about dating and who've been on the scene or no longer on the scene, how dating works to them. So what do you think?
LaShonda said, we want the total package. Financially stable, handsome, a leader, educated, no drama, except I know as I get older, some of my standards have changed. For instance, looks don't rank as high as they did when I was in my 20s.
Absolutely.
And your standards does change, because I believe when we were in school, you know, 20s, it's like, oh, he has to be 6'7". He has to be fine. He has to have all these things going for himself, right? Because we're 20, so we don't really know. And then it's like, you don't meet that person and you're 25, your standards are still up there. Then you're 30, your standards are still up there. You still have this checklist that you're going through. By the time you're 35, that checklist went from here to here. And by the time you're 40, it goes here. 45, you just don't have a checklist anymore.
But I'm curious, though you're married, but we as women, though, my thing is, where does that checklist come from, ladies? Where do y'all think that checklist come from? Did we get that from TV? Because at 20, where do we get this checklist from? Do we go by what Big Mama told us? You know how I go when I be asking, like, where y'all get that information from? Because where do we come up with this checklist? Did we just make it up? Did we go by what the other people are saying? I'm just curious, G, where do you think the checklist came from? Because I don't even know why I came with a checklist wrong. I think I just made it up.
I just think maybe generationally, people are like, you need to have something to bounce off of. You need to put a vision board up, and this is your checklist. And, you know, girlfriends, we share information.
But vision boards wouldn't happen like that in the 20s. You know what I'm saying?
I understand, but I'm saying maybe mentally we're looking at it like, oh, you know, I need to have this, this, and this. I don't want to lose this comment from Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn said, I would love to date. However, these guys I hear want to go straight to the bedroom action. They are not trying to date, get to know you. They just want to smash. Oh, okay. Key, you want to comment on that?
I'm with you, Gwendolyn. Yeah, some of them, that talk is cheap. They talk one way, but at the end of the day, like you said, it ends up going straight to the bedroom, and you just like, who you think I am? But there's nothing wrong with that person who's cool with that. That's not, because it may work out for somebody. There's nothing wrong with you do what works for you. However, you do find sometimes they're trying to still play in that. I mean, I'm sure the word player is played out, but they still trying to do that. Let me see how many I can get, and let me just see what I want to go out and get with her sexually. At our age bracket, we're not talking about 20, 30 years. If you 40, 50, still doing the 60, you like, really? You mean?
These men need to step up. They need to step up their game, because these women are definitely stepping up there. Yes, because, and I think that's part of the problem, Tracy. I'm gonna come back to that. Let me answer this. Kevin said, talk to him when he's in a position to date. Oh, Kevin, what do you mean by that?
I like that, Kevin. Men, where are you? Where are you? That's what we told you guys last week. Men, chime in, because you can tell us what's the issue with the singleness, because you're the ones that the women are looking for.
Okay, so Kevin, while we wait for you to answer that, so Tracy, let's go back to you. These men need to step up their game, because women are definitely stepping up there. And I think that's probably part of the problem why some Black women are not married or dating, because we feel like we can do it by ourselves. So if a man, like, that goes back to that checklist, if a man is not able to do all these things, then he really can't do anything for you, right? So it's like, okay, are we willing to meet these men halfway? Or are we just going to overlook them because he's not where he should be? Now, I give you a grace when it comes to age, an age grace, if that's even a word. I would say between 25, maybe 30, 35, maybe you're feeling your way. But after that point, I still think that's too late. But stable and financially stable. And not a lot of us are. Ramon said, Tracy said we got the checklist from grandmama.
That's what I said. That's what I'm talking about. Big mama, we got it from somewhere. Where did it come from?
And Ramon said, Romeo said, it's not a checklist, it's just a preference. Good. Tracy, that's right, Gwen. Then they trash you when you finally get there. So women, do you feel like men are intimidated with a successful woman? Successful Black woman, because we're talking about Black women today. Do you feel like a lot of men are intimidated when they meet that successful Black woman and they are not where they want to be financially? Romeo also said women ask for things too. It might not be sex, so we both asking for something. So what are some of the things women ask you for, Romeo? Tracy said, that's right, Kevin, get ready for me. Okay. When we meet him halfway, they never get to par. So you want to, Kim Hanley, you want to read that one, Key?
Okay. Kim said, so Kim's comment is about when we were saying, I was talking to a young lady over there in between jobs. She was still students, that's good. So she's speaking of, you may not be working, but if you're going to school to better yourself, she's cool with that.
Okay.
And then LaShonda's saying, which one are you using? This one?
No.
LaShonda.
That's it.
Oh, okay. LaShonda saying the checklist comes from what we want and what we see. Oh, okay.
So women, because it seems like it's a blessing and a curse for a Black woman to be financially secure, for a Black woman to be educated, and for a Black woman to be able to take care of herself. I mean, some of these men out here who are intimidated, it becomes a battle. It's like, oh, this woman has an attitude. Oh, this woman thinks she's all that. Oh, this woman thinks that. This woman thinks that. And it's really not that. It's just we have taken the time it goes to start dating, we bring in the interracial dating thing, you know? So it's like, it's a blessing and a curse. And to be too picky for the Black man. A Black man is never imitated by his woman. As a matter of fact, intimidated, I'm sorry, by his woman. As okay, we're thinking that the opposite. We need to support. Intimidation, if you look at the comments, there is no support. Black women, tell us why you're single. That's the question. That's the question that we pose, John. Why are so many Black women single? You know, and what can we do so that our Black women can someone, you know, for the Black woman. And Black women, what are some of the things that you're looking for when you're out here dating that you're not finding?
Right. Because I like you said, I think to me, I think it's just a combination of a lot of things. Like we mentioned a checklist, or he said preferences, which, you know, we were always taught as a woman, your checklist, or you hear people tell you yours, or your standards are. I think now, fast forward to 2020, and we still having this issue. And then what's happening now is the women are becoming the men that they want.
Because do you think it's because women feel like we have to be that? Because we have to hold down the household. We have to make sure everything is taken care of. We have to make sure that my well-being is taken care of. I'm not single, so I see when I talk to some of my single friends, it's like they're having these issues. Let me read this. Jerry. Jerry says, step up their game, question mark, stop trying to date anyone for what they can give you. Two people should be friends, companions, and just share understanding. If you're looking for financial assistance, and just ask for money. so Jerry, I understand you're saying just be totally honest. You're saying that you want a person that's going to be totally honest with you, and if it's only about the money, then let's talk about that, and then I can pay you for the sex. So I think, so Jerry, I would, yeah, Jerry, comment on that one. So if a woman is straight with you and say, I want you to pay me for my services, then how are you looking at that woman?
Well, gee, that can go both ways. Just like when he's saying pay, just ask for the money, like you're paying for sex. That's no different. Like, was that Gwendolyn? Trey, someone had mentioned, like, when you get with them, all they want to do is smash. So you guys want something, they want something. So how do you do that common ground? Because apparently you're asking for sex, she's asking for money. Then it looks like it's pretty much prostitution, for a better lack of a better word, whatever I'm trying to say. But just like he was just saying, why they just don't say that? Why you just don't say you want something? That way she can make that decision and say, hey, I don't want a relationship like that. But then give her the opportunity if that's all what she wants to do, is just have a sexual relationship, you know? So, but that's not really the big issue. That's a small part of the puzzle at times, because like she said, some people, all they want to do is smash. But we got a lot of men are being males and not men. Like they say, stepping up to the plate and really wanting that woman, being in a relationship, or not saying you don't want to be in it. Kim is saying over here, Black men are the reason why Black women have attitude, because they've been cheating on us for so long. And she goes on to say, Black men are the reason because they're cheating and treating so long that we can't become with their attitude, and then they leave us to go to a white woman. Oh, Kim, you think that's the reason why they go to them? But you know, I think that's a whole different dynamic. Some Black women do have attitudes, but we're gonna take like all the negative of that Black woman out at this moment and say, what about the Black woman who has been there for you, or trying to keep the relationship, or trying to get a relationship, and that guy still doesn't date her, or still string her along, or still, like she mentioned, might want to smash. What about that one? Because we have to have the men to chime in, because it has to be a reason why you're not dating them. And to echo what you're saying, just have an attitude and go to the white woman. That could probably be some of it. I don't know necessarily all why we have the attitude. I know a lot of people feel Black women have an attitude because we do carry a lot of our baggage. But how do we stop having an attitude? Because as the saying goes, you don't let anybody take you out of your character, or you don't let anybody let you be somebody you're not. So if you've been hurt so long, do you treat everybody else woman and still not dating?
So let's get the man perspective. So Kevin said, I'm a military man. So I was sheltered while in the service because I came out after 20 years and the men are just sorry. Okay. Romeo says, multiple dinners, concerts, movies, flat out money. Sometimes I ask for some love and affection. It's all hell no. That's all you wanted. It's not all that men want, but it could be something he wanted. So Romeo, so when you take a woman out, are you looking for the woman to put out? Is that what you're saying? I don't want to mix up your words or anything like that. I'm just like, I just really, I'm just perplexed by that because I'm not sure where we're going. So Chauncey said he agrees with Jerry. Yolanda said there are a lot of selfish men. And so Yolanda, what do you mean by selfish? Kevin said some are intimidated by strong Black women.
They are.
I agree with that.
They are. And why? You know, and like I said, I'm not going to put all the blame on the men, to be honest, because we as women can do better with our approach and who we are, because I think it always goes, it goes back to that standard. When that man comes and approach you and he's not that type, and you kind of looking at him and like, why are you talking to me? You know, because that's not the one for you. Or like we spoke about last week in part 1 on last Sunday, where some guys say they just speak and you think they're trying to flirt. They were just talking to you.
Right, because the lady that was part of the interview that we were watching on Facebook, she said that she had a conversation with a Caucasian gentleman at a bar, and she was like, oh my goodness, this is it. He's going to ask for my number, because they had been talking for like 2 hours. You know, and then she was like, this is it. This is it. He's going to ask for my number. Oh my God, this is my chance. You know, she was all happy and everything. And then at the end of the night, he told her good night. So he didn't ask for the number. He was just like, you know, having a conversation with her, you know, just killing time when you go to the bar. So she felt like, oh, it's another letdown because a man didn't ask for my number, when in turn, he was just being nice. I don't want to lose some of these comments. Kevin say, pay for service is no good to me. Yeah. Everett says, he already knows he wants some. Is that always true though, Everett? I mean, not all men, you know, want to be intimate or have sexual relationships with a woman when he first meets her. Do you think that way, or is that what you're experiencing? I don't know.
Well, let me ask Everett. So the comment he just made, are you speaking, you met this woman, you invited her for dinner, movie, skiing, whatever the first date you guys went on. You spent money, your hard-earned cash, credit card, whatever you use. And that woman is supposed to know at the end of that night, you want some sex for that date you went on. Is she supposed to know that when you just asked her to go?
I don't know.
Or better yet, are you asking her to go on a date to spend money so you can, as she used earlier, smash? I mean, help me understand, because no one would think if you wanted to go on a first date, second date, or whatever date we're on, and you spent money, I spoke, oh yeah, he's gonna ask me to smash.
Oh wow.
No one, I wouldn't have been. Gee?
No.
You would have thought about that?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
I mean, you can see once before now. You've been on dates and you were not married, so
I just would have thought you thought I was cute. You want to do
Or you love my conversation.
Yeah,
you know
no, I would never thought that.
Let me know, Everett, because that's a little different for me, Everett, because that's what we're trying to change, that mindset or better understand. Is that what we are? Because we hear that all the time.
So Anithia said, I'm sorry.
No, thanks.
Said, I think Black too arrogant and selfish.
Who that? And I'm not talking about the Saints. Who that?
He said we're arrogant and selfish. Why do you say Black women are arrogant and selfish? While you reply, I'm going to read the next one.
I'm skipping to G before you go there. John, put a disclaimer out there.
That wasn't John.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was Annalise.
Oh, Annalise. Who said we were arrogant? Okay. Annalise, put a disclaimer out there, because all or not, and me being a Black woman, not surprised. I've been around some. I probably wouldn't want to date if I was a man. So I get your point, but we can't lump everybody. We might as well say all men don't take care of this, don't do this, and sorry. We don't want to lump everybody, but hit us back. Let us know. Elaborate on that one.
Said we need you. Have to step in the way that we treat each other. Change the view. Saying with each other, we are powerful together. Knowing that is a start. I agree with that. We have to know that we're here. If we're talking about marriage and if we're talking about dating, so are we talking about dating if it's just, a monogamous relationship? So if it's monogamous, it's just you and me, no one else is in this. So are we talking about that type of relationship? Jerry Fuller says sex is a fair, is sharing your body with the opposite sex. Black women have been misled by progress in materialistic society. They are just not enough men, period. Just be yourself. Stop looking for what someone else can give you. Everything else will work out. Brian said 3 to 6 million. That's a large variance. I don't think you did proper research. Well, Brian, we actually got this from a YouTube study that was done back in 20. And I'm not sure if you're just joining. We stated that it was an old article or an old YouTube post that, just resurfaced, and that's the numbers that were on the actual post, so take a look at it. You can look at it, you can, see what you think, but that's what we saw. And that's why we're having this conversation today.
Gee, let me hit what Romeo is stating. He said she's not supposed to know, but she should know. I'm going to try. If she says no, then it's no, and we'll think she's getting those needs met elsewhere. So just because Roman, she didn't give it to you, you think she's somewhere doing it somewhere. Oh, okay, Roman.
I think this is taking a left turn. I don't think this is what we're talking about. But go ahead, Keith.
That was it. He just said the same thing.
Okay.
Come on, guys. What do y'all mean? Why are y'all getting sick?
Why are you talking like
We just wanted to know why you guys think it's so many women, not Black women, not dating or not married. And I wanted more men to speak, because you're that other equation, because they have to date. I mean, we're talking from a male's point of view. Like, we want you guys to speak from a male point of view of why you think they're not, why women can't get dates or whatever the case is going on with them. And you guys are going from, I want to smash. I'm like, really? I mean,
that's not what we're talking about. But
hey, G, that might be the reason.
It might be the reason that they're not dating.
Y'all don't want to smash. Sounds like they said, we buy you something, you don't want to smash. It has to be more than that. But what's very interesting, while we bring on more comments, I'm going to read another post that we read and saw, because we are very interested when we see other people's point of view. We always like to bring it up to you guys and find out what your thoughts are with it as well, because some of this stuff people post is very, very interesting. So this post supposedly came from a male.
And while Kia's doing that, let me read these comments while she's getting that. Everett said, when I hear people talk like forces outside of Black community/relationships are not have been at work to continue the unraveling of the family dynamics, it's telling. We are not living in a time and space for healthy growth of relationships, even with our children. So if we have one adult naive to this, the unrealistic POV point of view will continue to clash. Oh, okay. Excellent point.
And we have Instagram going as well. We have Mia Love 131. Thanks for joining, Mia. Mia said you got the guy's point of view, LOL. So Mia saying you guys are standpoint of this time, and really, really.
So Betty Robertson said we are not married or dating because we have not found a man worth the investment. Okay. So Betty, what's the investment? Is the investment within the single women? Is that the investment that we're looking for? I guess I'm just trying to understand what we mean by investment. Kevin said most men have not set themselves up to be the provider. So that actually goes back to the previous topic that we had about being submissive, about the woman being submissive to her husband. So, it's like the Bible says that you have to be a provider, you have to be able to lead, you have to do all those things. So, Kevin, do you mean as far as in a marriage, or do you mean providing while we're dating? Or are you meaning both? Everett said, I'm simply saying women from the beginning knows if she wants him, and in that way, and vice versa. I'm not saying he needs to assume that's what she wants and act on it. I was replying to a statement, but women know more, but reveal things based on what her motivation is. I'll give you that, Everett. I'll give you that. I can see what you mean by that. I understand that. Okay, you want to read your thing?
Yeah, I'm just going to give Lady Leo Lady Leo says, the problem is Black men know they are rare. They have their pick and most don't have to do much for us to choose them. Many of us have grown tired of being treated like low-hanging fruit. We want Black men who know our worth and want to build with us. Black women today are more educated and often make more money. And these men today are so easily intimidated by women like that. The pool of worthy Black men is so small, a lot of us choose not, she says. And then Latoya Green says, because they play too many games. Romeo says women watch too many Tyler Perry movies and want their lives to have what they see on TV. They're looking for a fairy tale, and they're getting older the longer they look. In midlife, they look for someone to blame. Blame that checklist. Well, Romeo,
you are a mess.
I have Carlton Evans 123 on Instagram. He says women are making more money now, so they want a man making the same. They're not selling anymore. All right, Carlton, absolutely. And it might not be all about the money. I might want a mental connection with you, a soulful connection. It's so honest. Why do you think the men that are chiming in, why do you think men are intimidated by the woman who has her own?
So let's read this. You want to read your thing with it? So let's read this. I'm sorry. Kevin says some women, not most, are not arrogant. Tracy Hall said, no, sir, we are confident. Benjamin said, is it that Black women set up requirements or standards too high to be met by Black men? And that's kind of where we're going with this, Benjamin. It's like some Black women have a checklist, and the checklist is so high to, like LaShonda's point, sometimes it becomes unrealistic to meet that checklist. Sometimes a woman can't even meet that checklist, So it's like, I think some women, their goals are so high until if you're a true girlfriend, and if that girlfriend is sharing some of her checklist must-haves with you, sometimes as a girlfriend, you have to say, Kara, are you serious? You can't even do this for yourself. So why do you want a man, or why are you expecting a man to do this? You should be able to do everything that a man can do for you, and you guys enhance each other.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's not a part of you have more, he has more. we're going to all come together and we're going to put it in a pot, and then we're going to enhance each other, and maybe that will get the ball rolling where Black women are dating again. We start looking at like, okay, well, let me see what I can do to help this man. Because a lot of time as a Black woman, we don't want to help men. I'm not saying be a hindrance to a man. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if this man is trying, right, and if he's trying and he's doing all that he can do, don't close the door on him so fast just because he's not where you think he should be. Life happens. And as my grandmother used to say, if you haven't experienced something, just keep living, because you can be that next person in line where you lose everything. And then what if that man has that same checklist, and it's like, well, I can do you one better. What about the man who only likes plastic women?
Because, man, you have checklists and standards too.
Right. What about the man that just wants a plastic woman? You just want her to be a 36, 28, 36. And a lot of time that's not what we are as women. And then you have all this enhancement done, and the natural women are competing with these store-bought women. So it's kind of hard for us as Black women to keep our natural selves and compete with the Kim Kardashians of the world, with all the Kardashian sisters of the world, with the exception of 2.
We're going to get our weave done. We get our butts enhanced. We get our boobs pumped up. We keep our nails done. We do all this because guess what? I'm sure we're trying to compete against, would you say, the next woman, the next race, and even the next Black woman, because you guys have so many to choose from. Well, what if I want to just be plain Jane? Men, you have lists too. Don't blame it all on us. But like G was saying, I think sometimes our lists are too high. Not saying you lower your standards, but what you're asking of, is that you as well? And like I said, we're just in a time now where you should be fair. Don't just keep doing that checklist thing or the standards thing or whatever Big Mama told you, Dad, whatever you were told, because we're in different times. You like G said, just like I was talking about my mom, that if you don't think stuff's gonna happen to you, you keep living. So what happens when you get with that person and what you wanted from him has happened to you? Now you can't handle it like she can. So what are you gonna do?
Right. And so like Betty Robinson said, men have a checklist. Beyonce, sex, sex, and sex. Tracy said Betty Robinson, Halle Berry, and Beyonce. So I think as a Black woman out here, well, a single Black woman, I don't know, I'm just speaking, from my single girlfriends, the competition, I mean, the playing field is not even. It's not an even playing field for to look like the person I see on TV. And come on, guys, that's bought. It's some enhancement there somewhere. I'm not saying, if a woman feels like she want to get nipped up, don't do that. I'm not saying that, because you have to feel good as a woman. But are we doing that so that we can attract a man's attention? Is that the reason that, we're having all these plastic surgeries? Is that the reason why, we're getting breast lifts, we're getting Brazilian butt lifts? People are losing their lives with all these injections in the butt. I think K. Michelle, the silicone.
Hers.
Right. And it was deadly, and so I think a lot of time that women, a lot of Black women, we find these aftermarket people to go to because we're trying to keep up with the Kim K.
We're trying to stay in the game.
We're just trying to compete.
We're trying to stay in the game. Tag them in.
Yeah. Right. We're just trying to compete. Dwight said lies. No real man wants all that fake stuff, in a woman. He wants to keep. He will play with the eye candy, but settle with a natural look. But is that always true? Is that always true, Dwight? Because we want, I mean, I hear some men like, I want my woman to look like this. I want my woman to look like that. And we don't look like that. You know, Black women were pretty much blessed with the big butts, the big boobs, the big lips. You know, that's what God blessed us with. And now all these other races are going out there to do enhancements. And once again, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. What I'm saying is the natural woman has to compete with that.
While we wait on his comment, Romeo mentioned, well, you have it too. Well, you have to also look at how the Black male is treated in America. Factor that into your standards. I have also learned that when a woman finds out a man is financially secure, they don't think they are responsible for anything financially anymore. Even if they have the means to be a partner, they need sugar daddies, not a partner. Okay,
Romeo, you're a mess. We're going to have you on every show. You are a mess. Ever said, I've never picked a store-bought woman over a natural woman. I know the truth. I know what true beauty is. Kudos to you, Everett. Kudos to you. I applaud that. Dwight says, lies again. No real man wants all that fake stuff in a woman he wants to keep. Play with eye candy, but was settle for the natural look. Once again, Dwight, I ask you, is that true? I know, men like eye candy on their arms and vice versa. Women, we like eye candy on our arms. And so that's part of that checklist. You know, you have to look this type of way. But I just think that a lot of times the playing field is not level because of what we are doing. You know, it's just a 26-inch waist is really not normal. It's not too many people walking around here with a 24 to 26-inch waist. And these girls are dying to look like these superficial people. You know, I understand you guys said you like it natural. I understand you were saying that. But for some reason, the women feel like they have to go out here and do something to enhance their beauty to get a date. Okay?
Yeah, you're right on that. But I don't see you guys elaborate. Can someone elaborate a little bit more? What is the issue of some men? We're not all that are intimidated by that woman who has her own, though. I know we got to the beauty part of it because I don't think it is a playing field, a fair playing field now. Because, like I said, all the social media, like she said, everybody's getting enhanced, and nothing wrong with getting enhancement. We have some men that like that. We have some men like natural. But the issue is why we have so many women, Black women, that are not dating and are getting married, because it has a lot to do with some of the men and some of the women too. I mean, we're our own problems at times. We can be so, like you guys said, attitude. Yes, women have attitude because, like, I want to say, I think that was Kim Handy mentioned that because we've been cheated on so much, and we just take that baggage with us to the next relationship. And just like Romeo said, he said he was speaking from experience when he stated that when women find that you're financially secure, they feel that they don't have to do anything anymore. And I think at that point, Romeo, I guess you just have to let that woman go. But all women are not like that. All men we know are not the other way. But we do have so many that have issues with dating and not dating and not getting married because of how men are. We already know the pool is very small because of incarceration with men, or they're married, or whatever the case may be. But what about that pool is still left? What's wrong with those men? Because they do still play games. So we still have to find out what's wrong with the ones that are eligible. Why are they not dating, or why they're not trying to make that woman their woman? Or maybe they don't want to get married. I don't know. But it's an issue, and we're just trying to find out what is the issue.
So Everett said, I think you're speaking on TV personalities and their influences are trickling down. Yes, influences are trickling down because a lot of women feel like they have to compete with those women that's on TV because that's what men, not all, some, yes, that's what some men are saying they want. Like the Beyoncés, like the J-Lo's, like Kim Kardashians, like, you know, all these women that's out here enhancing themselves. Tracy said they're not happy with the skin that they're in. Tracy said, come on, Dwight, keep it real.
Yeah.
Kevin said, to me in general, Black men have been followers, or should I say following, the wrong men coming up. Most men set themselves up for success. And felonies on their record have been Black men downfall. And that was to your point that you just made, Key. That's the reason why they're not, I mean, it's slim pickings out here for Black women because of the drugs and because of the felonies. And if you have a felony, I hear it's hard for you to get a job, you know, because people hold that against you. And, you know, if you've done your time, if you paid your debt to society, I think you should be able to come back out here and make a way for yourselves in the world, you know? So
then you're probably going to have some women that might not want a felony. Like I can't that woman, if you feel he paid his debt to society, he's a great person, he just made a mistake, kudos to you if you want that type of person. Kudos that are dating that type of person. And I guess kudos people that don't want to do it. But the issue is such a slim picking of men, and they feel sometimes that they make it, I think some men do make it hard for Black women today because you get caught up in your own personal and mental issues from what happened in childhood. A woman can't do you. Sometimes some of them, again, not all, bring that old mentality to the dating world. A woman should do this, a man should do this, and they intimidate. Because what are you intimidated by a woman who can help you handle the house? What's the big issue? Like I think one time I had some man tell me, this was many, many moons ago, why would a woman go get a house by herself? I'm looking at him like, what? Because she needs to live, right? What's the difference? Because we're so conditioned to think it should be a certain way. Yes, back then, you might have waited for the husband, the kid, the little kid, I mean, the kid, the dog, the picket fence. That was a family. But we're in a time where this much I pay an apartment, I probably can go buy a house. So what's wrong with a woman going to get a house and I'm bringing you into the home if I bought it? Why would you ask, why would a woman go get a house by herself? So some of that stuff is conditioned. I just think we need to change our mentality. Because if you have a woman as your helpmate, as someone might have mentioned, it's a partnership, what's wrong with her? And I know a lot of women out there that wouldn't mind being your partnership. So those that are speaking, that the ones that are thinking they want you for your money, things of that nature, you have those out there too. But we're talking about that, I'm going to say the good girl who has a head on shoulder. We all have flaws. I'm not going to say they're perfect on either end. But that type of woman, not the one that got all this issue that you guys are stating, but we know you guys are visuals. You look at a person, woman first, men, just like women, but mostly men. So that's why you do have a lot of these men. All this conversation when you have people talking about Instagram model. I never heard of that until we start getting social media. And of course, that's what they see you guys gravitate to. So of course, well, he clicking and making those licks, all that kind of stuff, making those likes and doing all that. So let me try to get there. So that's why we have what we have today. Like G said, all this enhancement, all this makeup, where you got people looking like two different people. There's nothing wrong with enhancing and keeping your beauty up, but you know some reasons why we do that. Some women like it because that's just what they love, but I think some women do it because they are trying to get to that next level. You guys say, they see women on TV, they look at Instagram, they look at Facebook, whatever the social media platform they look at, and they want to be just like them.
Terry Jones said, I love this post. Thank you, Terry. We're here every Sunday at 4 p.m. Dwight said, we love y'all the way you are. Stop trying to compete. But Dwight, it's hard for a single woman out here because she feels like she has to compete because once again, it's slim pickings out here, you know, for a Black woman. Tracy Hall said, the Black woman too. I don't have none of that. And I think I can stand up against the best of them, 35 and up, and I'm 54. You go, Tracy, okay? I love it. Dwight said, wear hair. Do not put that stinky weave in. At the end of the day, when you start taking all that stuff off, we wonder who you are. Fake up is the devil. And I think that's where we are, Dwight, because some women don't show you who they really are because, you know, you got the eyelashes, you got the weave, you got everything else that, you know, you got the, what is it? The Spanx, you got the girdle, you got the shaper, you got all these
I'm
things.
packed down.
Right.
It's
and
like
then,
an hourglass.
Right. And then, you know, I saw this post, to digress a little bit, that not a post, but it was actually on Judge Mathis, where this guy took this woman to court because she had so many filters on her Instagram picture. So he told her, that's not you. so he took her to court because he said she lied to him. She misled who she was. Because he was like, Judge, look at her. I spend my money to go meet with her. And that's not how she looks. So, you know, so we are out here competing. We feel like we have to do all that to get your attention. Betty said, Dwight Logos Anderson, yes, you play. So where does that leave the dating game? Are you so busy? I'm sorry. Oops.
You lost it?
Yeah, I did. Let me read her other comment. Are men so damaged after the plastic play that they have nothing to give to a real woman? I don't know. Ever said good topics and conversation, ladies. Thanks for sharing. 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Romeo is echoing in on the part when I talked about why are men so intimidated when it comes to a woman having her own, and he is stating that it's not that men are intimidated, it's that they can't be controlled because the woman really doesn't need them. They only want them for whatever. The intimidated guy more than likely needs the woman. Oh, okay. And he said here, it's the reason women look for ballers. The relationships are money, entertainment driven from the lady's standpoint and sex driven from the male standpoint. Okay.
That's a good point.
All right. It says PSA, Instagram models make millions from their bedrooms. And I understand that. That's why I do it. But that's what people are looking at, though. Those who want a real relationship, that's what they see. Anybody has any sense, hopefully knows they're not doing it just because they want to do it. Some of them not. I'm sure they are making money. But the key is, but that's what we're seeing, and that's what society tells us it's okay. He said, I'm buying an Afro wig and see if the ladies like it. Oh my God. Debbie, because she said, leave my eyelashes alone. We also have Carson on Instagram. He said it's a control issue for her to make more money than him.
So because we're getting at the top of the hour, let's wrap this up. So I just want to read a few more comments because I love how engaged you guys have been. Dwight says, for the longest, sisters have said, I don't need a man. Mistake brothers got tired of hearing that narrative and said, you got it. Now sisters have seen all of that I got it talk has left them with the dog and 2 cats and lonely. We want to date sisters. Let the baggage go. Brothers are waiting on you.
Brothers, let the baggage go. Sisters are waiting on you as well. I understand your point. That might have been the, dialogue, conversation some time ago. But I think that dialogue came from somewhere. I don't know who wakes up and say, I don't need a man. I can do it all by myself. I think that came from hurt, being cheated on, whatever was going on with those women back at that time. Because I've heard the conversation of two, I don't need a man, but do they really mean that? Or are they just speaking out of hurt? So we don't really know because we hadn't talked to those women per se. I know I haven't. I just know I've heard those conversations before. But I think everybody wants someone to love them or wants to be loved. So that's why I said these topics are not a one size fit all. It is so many different dynamics. We know there's common denominators. There's a male and a female, and we just can't connect for whatever reasons. We spoke on some of them, but there's many more why people, because I can't speak for the next woman, why she doesn't have it, why she can't get the mate or the man, because I'm not a man. But we're just curious to know why so many Black women, like the topic was saying from an article or YouTube that she had found, why they're not married, not dating. You know, it's a lot of different reasons, but we also know that it's very tight out dating out Black men. And we know just like women have their mental issues, and I'm using the word mental because mental health is real. So we bring a lot of baggage. Women bring, I don't care who you are, good, bad, or indifferent, you bring baggage just like men do. Because I don't even know why at this day and time, while we're still talking about a man being intimidated by a woman who makes more money. Like Cardinal said, it's a control issue for her. Not sure what women he know, because making more money than my man is not a control issue. It's pay the bills issue. It's having a lifestyle what we want issue. You're talking about that woman with a control issue if she treats it that way. If you come in trying to wear the pants because you make more money. If it comes in and it's more than yours and I'm treating you like the king of the home and we're working on this together, that's not a control issue. That is, we're going to make sure our house work issue. That has nothing to do with that. Now, you might have some men that, what's the word, emasculate men, and that's the issue. I don't like those. Just because you make more, and that's no different than a man. You shouldn't talk to me any kind of way because you make more money in the home. I just think men just have an issue that they shouldn't have an issue with, unless you're dealing with that type of woman who makes you feel that way. Because men made more money than.
So a few more comments, and then we're going to wrap it up with and Keith's going to read a post that she found online. Tracy Hall said, right. That's why they go back to crime. And if you don't want a man because he has a felony, SMH, means shaking my head. I have an awesome son-in-law who had 5 felonies. Now he's a praying man, a deacon in church. So don't judge a book by its cover. At least read the content. I agree with that, right? Because we all have made mistakes. Everyone in this world has made a mistake. If you haven't, just keep living. You know, Kevin said, nothing wrong with a woman getting a house without a man. That's a bad mindset.
Exactly. That's a male and not a man.
Absolutely. Well, that's a boy and not a man, right? Or
a male because he can probably be a boy, but we know you were male first.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
But you probably hadn't grown into that man.
You're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Dwight said, I don't have time to play. I want something real. And it all starts by being yourself. Leave the representative at home. We all meet our representatives. So when you first meet someone, that is their representative. You know, because everyone wants to be on their best behavior. So when you first meet someone, they're not showing you who they truly are. You know, if you want to be in a relationship with someone and if you want to see how it's going to work, I was always told you need to be with someone for all 4 seasons, right? And what that means is you know their temperament in the summertime, the wintertime, the spring, and the fall. So that way, you know, if you can deal with them, you know. So Tracy said, come on, Romeo. Yeah, a good jug. That is not control. Nicole Johnson said, absolutely. Linda said, I have found that they become jealous. It's not they mind me working. I work too much. Yeah, right. Don't feel I need flowers because I have them. Because I have. Both of you, Dwight said, both of you ladies are beautiful. I just had to say that. Thanks, Dwight.
Thank you. But you know my eye not written. I was like, you know I got plastered. I was kidding. And Romeo here says, why don't white women have a problem with black men? Your thoughts? They don't bash us. We're gonna have to topic another day for that one, Romeo, because I'm not gonna say they don't bash it because I don't know. I mean, my brother dates outside the race. I'm okay with it, but we can't say all white women. I don't know, because you might want to tell me why would you date a white woman and not date your black sister? Because all black women don't bash. But again, what happened to the black woman? Why is she so angry? You guys have to help us with that. And may not be your situation, but some black women are angry at the things that happened to them by a black man.
Some black women just mad for no reason, though. I mean, so we're going to call a spade a spade. Some black women are just mad. Okay, so a few more. Betty, I don't want to miss this one. Betty Robinson said, I love my black men, waiting on them to love me back. I will always want a man, but it needs to be a man and not a male. In parentheses, okay? So Tracy Hall, you gave us our next topic, huh? Tracy said, next topic. Do we really need a man, or do we really need our man?
That's a good one. That's a good one. And also, too, just to add before we get out of here, and I want to read you guys something. Women who have men, boys as their child, and men who have boys, we got to start at home too, guys. We got to start learning how to groom our little black into men so that next generation doesn't have that issue. Because that disconnect between the black community with male and female, it comes from somewhere. It is coming from somewhere. So whatever bad habits we start as a kid, teenager, young adult, that becomes somebody else's issue. That's somebody's husband, that's somebody's boyfriend, that's somebody's employee. So we have internal issues. I just don't care what people say. I think we really do, because the things that we bicker about as a black couple, being black people trying to get together, it shouldn't be like that. Like one has said, uplift your man, uplift your woman. It should be equal opportunity. So we just have to find a way to find out what is wrong with the race, why we don't have that great connection. Is it boys, male, not becoming men? Are they stopping somewhere? So it's more to the story. But this was a great feedback from you guys. I really like the engagement. Romeo said he had fun.
So Romeo, Gwendolyn said, save the white woman topic for another day.
That's what I told her.
We don't have time today.
Yeah. And I'm going to end on this post, and maybe we need to do a part 3. I'm going to end on this post right here, and what I found, and thought it was very interesting. It was a post on Facebook. I just kind of spread around on Instagram. I'm not sure if you guys have heard it or not. And it was from a guy, which was very interesting. He said, be the woman that'll help fill out job applications. The woman that'll help open up a bank account just to save and get him on his feet. The woman that'll tell him right from wrong. The woman that'll plan things to do just to keep him out of the streets. The woman that'll help him go from nothing to something. The woman that'll motivate him and make sure his head is always on straight. And that's STR8. So, okay, nothing wrong with variation, but to me, this is a boy. Be the woman that's down through it all. So this is kind of stuff a man is posting, and you wonder why we have issues with dating. Where did he get that mentality from?
That's just garbage. So someone asked, when are we coming back? Dwight asked, when are you guys on again? We're on next Sunday at 4 p.m. Please go like Chat and Chew with Key and G. You can like us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So if you guys have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, please hit like, so that we know that you like it. Like one of our videos so that we can invite you, so that you guys are notified each time that we go live, right? Because we go live every Sunday. So this has been great, guys. This has been great. Maybe we will do a part 3. I don't know. You guys let us know. This has been awesome. Dwight said, if that man doesn't know how to open a bank account or fill out an application, Dwight said, run.
Exactly, Dwight. This is what I'm talking about. This is what women are dealing with. This is what you guys men have in your pool. This is what we're choosing from. And nothing against the brother for making the post, but that was just eye-opening me. Really? You looking for your mama?
I'm loving Tracy. Tracy said, I'm not your mama.
That's why I said we have to change the mentality of the black men and the black women. So that's why we're not dating and not getting married, because of things that are going on in our communities that we need to rethink and start doing over. It's not too late for you ladies. It's not too late.
So Dwight just asked, what's our YouTube channel again? So you can find us on all social platforms at Chat and Chew with Key and G. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So our videos are always downloaded to Facebook. So you can always go out there and chime in, let us know if you have a thought, or you know what, guys, if you want to be on our next show, send us a private message so that we can send you a link and you can be a part of the conversation as well. I know you guys get tired of typing, and sometimes what you want to put out there doesn't come across the way that you want it to. So Dwight, Romeo, Tina, and so
Tracy.
Many others. Who?
It was a Tracy.
Tracy. I'm sorry, Tracy. Gwendolyn, Kim, LaShonda. I can't remember everyone who chimed in because you guys were so great. Send us a message. You can send us a message. Do it privately so that we'll get your email address and we can invite you to
be live.
We can invite you to the next conversation, which is next Sunday at 4 p.m. Central. So with that being said, we're chatting with G and Key. We're chatting with G and Key. I'm G.
And I'm Key. And thank you for tuning in this Sunday. And happy October. And you guys, make sure you're getting your mammograms. It is Breast Cancer Month. Take care. Health is wealth. Thank you, Romeo, for following the show. We appreciate you.
Romeo, follow our channel. And men and women, you guys get tested for breast cancer as well, right? Because some men are experiencing
breast cancer.
Yeah, breast cancer. I think Matthew Knowles just did a whole interview, had an interview. He's suffering with breast cancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, thank you guys for tuning in. For those who came in the middle of the show, when you sign out, let us know where you're from. We appreciate you guys letting us know where you're tuning in from. But again, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a great week. Until next time.
Bye. Have a good one, guys. See you soon.